So the UFO murders are apparently continuing. Okay, I was one of the first people to start covering the now a dozen either missing or murdered or very suspiciously passed away scientists, researchers, developers that had all been working on very secret classified programs related to space technology, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenons, anti-gravity technology being used in the weapons industry. It's getting crazy. I was one of the first people covering it. It's now made its way to the likes of the Daily Mail, Fox News, News Nation. Everyone's covering this now. I'm seeing it everywhere on X. I'm even seeing the likes of academics and all of the other culture pages posting about the 11, as of yesterday, dead, missing, or suspiciously dead scientists. And now, apparently, according to the Daily Mail, there is a 12th. We've got a 12th. We've got another one, as DJ Khaled would say. And it is looking pretty crazy. So we're going to get into it today. I'm going to show you the latest in this long line of missing, deceased, and just very suspiciously out of here scientists related to UFO technology. So this is, as of today, or as of yesterday, in the Daily Mail, it says, death of Air Force whistleblower set to reveal UFO secrets, declared suspicious. So apparently a former US Air Force intelligence officer died before he could testify in a whistleblower hearing about UFOs, sparking demands for an FBI investigation. Matthew James Sullivan was just 39 when he died on May the 12th, 2024, after reportedly taking himself out. Now, I got in trouble for saying that S word in the last video, so I'm going to be really careful what I say. His official cause of death hadn't been made public, nor was the case reported on by the local media. Now, Congressman Eric Burleson of Missouri has told the Daily Mail that Sullivan was preparing to be a key witness for congressional investigators looking into unidentified anomalous phenomena, more commonly known as UFOs. Burleson shared he had grave concerns that Sullivan's death appears suspicious, suggesting the veteran intelligence officer may have been targeted to silence him before revealing knowledge of non-human spacecraft and extraterrestrials. Look at Matthew Sullivan's credentials and his experience. He certainly was someone who was read in at the highest classification levels and knew some of our nation's most important secrets, and so did a lot of these other people. The congressman explained that the investigation by the intelligence community inspector general uncovered serious allegations of misconduct and potentially unlawful activities, which pointed to the 39-year-old's death not being an S word. Okay, don't want to get in trouble, but these S words ain't S words when you look a bit closer into it. It says Burleson said the fact that he had been scheduled by the UAP task force that he had been scheduled to come in and speak after hearing about this tragedy, I felt it was worth looking into. On Thursday, he made a formal request to FBI Director Lash Patel, according to some people. Loves getting out on the lash, according to some people. I don't want to get sued, but that's some people's opinion. They've been asking for Lash Patel to investigate Sullivan's death as a potential crime. The sudden and suspicious circumstances surrounding his death raised significant concerns about the potential for foul play and the safety of other individuals involved in this matter. Okay, it is a little bit sus. There he is. All right. So Sullivan had been contacted by UAP whistleblower and retired U.S. Air Force Major David Grush prior to the intelligence officer's sudden death, which reportedly left Grush extremely distraught. Grush, who's now a senior advisor to Burleson, spent 14 years in the Air Force before working as an intelligence officer for the National Reconnaissance Office, building and launching surveillance satellites for the Pentagon. He eventually became a whistleblower, testifying before Congress in 2023 after allegedly learning that elements of the US government had been hiding UFO retrieval and reverse engineering programs for decades. Grush was helping him come forward as a whistleblower, Burleson confirmed to the Daily Mail on Friday. The congressman added he had not spoken to Sullivan directly and did not know what information he was prepared to disclose regarding his time in the Air Force and as a Department of War contractor working at some of the nation's most secretive bases. Specifically, Sullivan had an extensive background tied to military intelligence and advanced technology being used by the US worldwide. He also worked for multiple groups that allegedly have decades-old ties to America's UFO secrets. After serving as a fifth-generation aircraft intelligence chief, Sullivan worked for the National Air and Space Intelligence Center as a deputy director at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The Ohio complex has long been linked to the alleged retrieval of crashed alien spacecraft since the Roswell incident in 1947. Sullivan also worked for the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, aka DARPA, which has been called the Pentagon's Idea Factory because of its documented role in creating futuristic tech such as the internet, GPS, and stealth technology. So Burleson suggested the FBI needed to investigate Sullivan's suspicious death as part of a growing number of missing and dead scientists throughout the US in recent years, saying the veteran's knowledge of classified data fits the alleged pattern. The congressman added that he had already been in contact with members of the FBI who neither confirmed nor denied whether the US intelligence community had been investigating Sullivan's death or the 11 other deaths and disappearances documented since 2022. Several scientists and administrative officials with ties to NASA, nuclear research, aerospace programs, and classified projects have vanished or turned up dead in recent years. Many of the individuals, including personnel from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and the Los Alamos National Laboratory, had access to sensitive information on space missions, nuclear technology, or advanced defense systems, prompting speculation about possible connections. Burleson and House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer are preparing a joint letter to the FBI listing several of these cases lawmakers want investigated as part of a possible conspiracy. To this point, Sullivan's case has reportedly only been in the hands of a local Virginia medical examiner case. The Daily Mail has reached out to local authorities in Virginia for comment on the circumstances surrounding the Falls Church resident's death. Okay, so that's Matthew Sullivan with his wife. I mean, why? Why would he do that to himself? The lawmaker from Missouri noted that at this time there were no new whistleblower hearings on UAPs currently scheduled. However, Burleson noted he had spoken with potential witnesses who were fearful they would be a victim of foul play before having a chance to testify about their work with UFO-related projects. There's some that have come forward to try to be public just to avoid any kind of foul play. In a lot of ways, going public can be protection in and of itself. I do know of at least one individual that did come forward and has been very public and did so because he felt his life was in danger. Now, we covered yesterday the Amy Eskridge story, and she had done her best to let people know that she wasn't, planning to do anything to herself, and that if anything happened to her, it was definitely the M word. And that is just super, super spooky that we're hearing more and more cases of this. So following these recent UFO disappearance stories, everything kind of all really started to go viral about this after retired Air Force General Neil McCasland actually ended up going missing. Okay, he disappeared without his shoes, without his phones, just took a revolver and no glasses. It all didn't really make sense. And what's really crazy is that this month, on April the 8th, 2026, a large cluster of unidentified objects have been filmed and observed over the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which is the very same base that General McCasland once commanded. And this has been going viral in a bunch of places. UFO formation, you might have seen this on social media. Spooky. So look, we need to know. We need answers. All right. We need answers. What the hell is this? Okay. Everyone on Reddit is trying to get to the bottom of it. A lot of people think this is very suspicious, very strange. And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on at the moment. Okay. We need to know what's going on. This is in the interdimensional NHI subreddit, which I am now a member of, duly. And basically everyone's just trying to get to the bottom of what on earth is going on here. Wright-Patterson is not a standard airfield. It's the headquarters of the Air Force Material Command and the National Air and Space Intelligence Center. It possesses some of the most advanced sensor arrays in the world, specifically designed to monitor its Class Delta airspace. WPAFB security utilizes sophisticated radar, thermal imaging, and passive electronic detection. If these were unauthorized skydivers, they would have identified the jump plane or the heat signatures of the individual long before they were over the base. The fact the base experienced significant unmanned aerial systems incursions in December 2024, which forced a 4-hour total airspace shutdown, demonstrates that when the base detects an intrusion, it takes immediate high alert administrative action. So the fact that these UFOs are being seen over this base is a violation. If this is them aliens, we can't do anything about it. If this is a hostile foreign government, they are testing us. They are trying the United States and saying, yeah, I wish you would. Okay. It says Wright-Patterson security is serious business. They have a whole store on base, and I once had a contract to go and service the Dr. Scholl's insole fitting machine that was in store on base. I had to submit mountains of paperwork beforehand so they could run a full background check. My work van exterior was expected on arrival. I was escorted to one building where I checked in, and I had a full person escort lead me to the store, follow me and supervise. I service the machine, then promptly lead me off the base to exit. It was a very eyes forward and work fast type of feel to it, eerie as F. Okay, can't even go there and service the vending machine without getting monitored by a security detailer for people, okay? It says this one's really good. People are asking if it's AI. They're saying 800,000 people live around the area and there's only one video. That's a lot. It says they're going to be coming here pretty soon with all the signs that there are World War III stirring scientists disappearing, biblical prophecies being fulfilled. I'd say any year now we'd be shown either a true or holographic alien visitation event. It says, I've seen something similar in the high near Selfridge in Metro Detroit 10 plus years ago. People are saying, is it skydivers with flares? They are not skydivers, according to some skydivers. Okay, these things were not unidentified by the US military. The US military knew exactly what they were. They were flying over, yeah, these aren't aliens. They're US test aircraft of some kind. So, it looks like dumb lights. Who gives a shit? We want healthcare, education, and housing. I think we need to know what's going on with them aliens before we get the housing situation sorted. I don't know how we're going to house them aliens. But anyway, okay, another piece of technology that has also recently popped back is ghost murmur technology, with this apparently being what was used to rescue the US soldiers stranded in Iran. And it was the first time that I believe we've even been privy to this technology existing. And I wonder if there's more disclosures coming for technologies that have been kept secret amid everything that's going on.
So, why exactly is this considered the CIA's most powerful surveillance weapon to date? Well, it has the ability to track and lock on the single heartbeat of one person, friend, or foe from 40 miles away. On April 2026, this concept became a reality. With this classified tech, US forces didn't even need a radio signal. They could locate a single man hidden in a cave from 40 miles out just by zeroing in on his heartbeat. Our 3D animators created a simplified model of this overclocked system to show how it works. It uses engineered synthetic diamonds to create a long-range quantum sensor.
This is real technology that they actually used. So when that guy ejected from the fighter jet over Iran and he was hiding in the mountains, they used this technology. And they're talking about, what is it, an array of diamonds? This is sounding crazy. And what I'm about to tell you after this, I'm showing you all of this for a reason, because you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you. But this is real. They actually just used this, and they never admitted this was real until now.
It uses engineered synthetic diamonds to create a long-range quantum sensor. Strapped to a helicopter, it can detect the tiny electromagnetic pulse of a beating heart from miles away. So why use this specific technology to find the missing weapons system officer instead of the usual tech? Well, it is because infrared cameras and satellites are completely useless when your target is buried deep inside a mountain. In short, the CIA can now track your actual heartbeat. If you're a friend, this tech could be the lifeline that brings you home. But if you're the enemy, not even the caves or the desert can hide you anymore.
Now look, they can find a guy hiding in the mountains of Iran that's ejected from a helicopter, that's ejected from a fighter jet with this super futuristic technology, but they can't find William Neal McCasland. They can't find these folks that are just going off hiking and disappearing. I don't know about all of that. Okay, so what I'm about to tell you now. All right, so they're basically creating this crazy technology that can detect heartbeats using an array of diamonds, and technology we've never heard of. Well, in 2023, according to a 4chan whistleblower, okay, they would describe ghost murmur technology that we've just seen as apparently more technology that was reverse engineered from an alien craft. This is crazy. People saying serious. 2023, a 4chan whistleblower described ghost murmur, the tech used in 2026 to locate a downed American Air Force officer hiding in a mountain cave in Iran. It says, I've had 2 orange orbs approach me to within 100 feet one night, glowing translucent, but rather dim like the setting sun seen through smog. They were flying in 45-degree formations like this at about 50 miles an hour. Research science vessels sometimes have mobile light-producing cameras used for multiple purposes, from scouting to keep threats contained or at bay. These are shaped like hammers and when operated are extremely bright. Red lights are a sign of hostility or caution to deploy weapons. Orange lights are usually for spotting minerals or living things. As soon as I blinked my flashlight at them, they accelerated to several thousand knots and disappeared over the horizon. Searched YouTube and found several videos of the same objects, mostly near San Diego. I'm not surprised, the range on those is quite large. The UFO was likely somewhere above you quite high up. Is the underwater base near Catalina Island creating these? No. This one only has left the Atlantic Ocean twice. Both times were before I arrived. It says, is there tech that was gained from these craft that the military widely uses today, or civilians for that matter? It said, a lot of your stealth aircraft sport smoother designs for one. Learning to track them also helped with targeting software. Laser technology comes to mind since it's a crippled version of what they use. Most of what I saw was way above us. It's hard to put the hammers and how you see through them into words. It's not like a drone camera. It's not a clear image, to us at least. It said, I wanted to go out of my way to answer this one. Tools with anti-gravitational properties or any portable anti-gravity devices. Very few, lots of them emit radiation. Close encounters are seen with red lights and some orange. Orange is a mineral bioscanning mode. Since most people see orange up close, you're likely being scouted or selected for abduction. It can see your heart beating, even the valves pushing blood inside. Just to add some perspective, red should be defense mode. Just wondering why some close encounters are with red lights. It says, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ghost Murmur is a passive system operating at non-visible frequencies fine-tuned for human electromagnetic signatures. This 4chan guy is talking about an active system that operates on the visible spectrum. These sound similar, but different systems. Okay, I follow the JOSC-related SAP aircraft and UAPs. Of all the speculation in those spaces independently on Ghost Murmur, you were the only person I've seen connect the dots on this. Well done. It says, thanks, it was mostly luck. I'm both following news and UAP stuff, and it was just so happened I revisited this particular story a few days after Ghost Murmur was mentioned publicly. Okay, so what is this? An apparent like picture of this technology being used. It says orbs don't look anything like Ghost Murmur tech. It's a wide tube on the underside of a helicopter. I suspect it's an extremely sensitive EMAG reader, so you need to wrap your torso in foil to negate it. So if you didn't want to be found by the Ghost Murmur technology, you basically could wrap yourself in foil. I might need a tinfoil hat after reading about all of this, okay? It is very, very spooky. Okay, it's very spooky. People saying they're skeptical of this poster. I read a lot, but not all of his. What made me skeptical is he gave way too much personal info. If I had a personal roster with background checks, I could ID him with fair ease. He gave an indication of longevity, date he changed positions, but he must be working in a small department, rough date of birth and state where he lived as a child. That's a lot, and maybe more. Okay, people have been trying to identify the guy that said this. It is spooky. Okay, so some people are saying, I think Ghost Murmur is bullshit. They're taking two buzzwords, AI and quantum, and ascribing highly improbable abilities that defy the laws of physics. I think there's more likely two possibilities. They located the person using mundane methods like a tracking beacon. The cover story is just to scare our enemies, or they're using remote viewers. People saying Ghost Murmur is scientifically implausible. Magnetic signals from a human heartbeat drop to 1/trillionth at just 0.62 distance in miles, making 40 miles impossible. Even the modern diamond-based quantum magnetometers can only detect heartbeats under controlled lab environments, not in open deserts. Environmental noise, including the Earth's magnetism and animals, would instantly blind any such sensor outdoors. People saying basically saying the airman had a beacon on him. Seems like it would be far easier to use that tech to detect the beacon. To detect the beacon, then try and detect a heartbeat from 40 miles away. So maybe what they did was use a remote viewer to get close and then use his beacon as an exact position. So look, they're saying that there's a 12th person that is suspiciously checked themselves out right before they were due to testify to the government about what was going on with these UAPs. They're talking about this Ghost Murmur technology. Some people are saying it's reverse engineered. So look, I'm going to keep digging into this. I've got another video that I'm going to do about some more kind of throwback situation to do with alien technologies and a bunch of people that were apparently very seriously affected by some of this information. So they're saying that there's going to be disclosure coming soon. They're going to actually give the information. They're going to release the alien files. I'll believe it when I see it, folks. But I am diligently trying to get to the bottom of this, and if I find any more names to add to the list, I'll let you know. And I'm going to do one big breakdown with everybody's story in it once I've got all of the names and all of the people together, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I'm out.